So this is the setup that I have now. Basically made this stuff all from old parts from work, old pieces of pallets and junk wood. It came out pretty nice, I think. But I've got the PicoBREW controller. They no longer sell this controller. It's now called the Brew Boss. And if you Google Brew Boss, Darren is his name. He actually has some videos on YouTube, Complete Brew Days. It's pretty much the same setup, kettle-wise. He has welded fittings where I have bulkhead fittings. But for the most part, it's the same thing. His software has been updated. The program that he gives you is different than this one, a lot more refined. But still, this one works really well. So basically here it is. You get the controller that powers the 5500 watt heating element and the kettle. It controls the pump that I have mounted down there to recirculate the wort. And basically it controls your temperature for your mash steps, your strike temp, and then set your boil. And pretty much it just kind of automates it, gives it a little bit of, actually a lot of repeatability, so you can hone in on your ingredients instead of worrying about the process. So pretty much all it is a 15-gallon kettle. You can see in there it's got the 5500 watt element, my dip tube. Over here it has a basket that goes down in here. Well, that's pretty loud. And then you just take your bag, set her down in there. This bag is actually for a kegel that I had made before I just spent the money and got the good kettle. Now granted, this isn't the nicest kettle you can buy, but for what I'm trying to do, it fits the bill. But you can see the bag actually fits it perfect. So you obviously add your grains, and then add the lid. And I made a recirculation arm out of line lock fittings. It has a pretty nice spray pattern, but so throw that on there. I get quick disconnect fittings, so clip that on, fire it off, and recirculate your water, get up to your mash temp, throw everything in, do that for an hour, and then do your boil. But it's kind of nice, like you can flip the valve, and I know people are going to say, I don't need to have a shut-off valve on the inlet, and that's true, I don't. I had that laying around. I didn't have the coupler that I needed, so that I used that, and actually it proves to be helpful when I have to disconnect lines. I don't have hot liquid pouring out of it. I can shut it off so I can clear the lines. It's kind of hard to explain, but if you use it, it makes sense. But so you got the liquid out, pumped up, back up here to the top, and then when you're finished, you can see I got the station set up basically, so it's brewing, cleanup, bottling and fermenting. So basically it works out pretty nice. You pull the lid when you boil, so you can just leave this hose hanging and lose the lid. And then when you're done, I made a counterflow chiller and stuffed it in a bucket, just so it wasn't kind of like hanging out everywhere, and I didn't want to have to worry about messing it up. So, but you hook up there. Basically, I put a quick disconnect on my sink, and you plumb this up. And I did one run on it so far, and it got from boiling down to about 68 degrees. I had to throttle the outlet, but it got it down in probably about a little less than 7 minutes. So I was pretty pleased with that. But then I just hook up the water outline, let that drain back into the sink, And then I put this one on the beer out, and basically it hangs down enough that I can set my carboy just basically right there and fill it straight out of the counterflow. So works out pretty nice. Oh, one other thing, when you're done brewing and done with your mash and you need to start your boil, one of the things that worked out pretty awesome was when you've got all that grain in the bag, it's really heavy and it's nice to be able to let it drain. I mean, I can't obviously hold it, so I bought a track where I work, and it has a little, you call it a trolley setup, but basically it allows you to you can hook this up. I'm gonna set this down for a second. Alright, so basically when you're done mashing and you're ready to boil, as you're heating up to your boil, you just pull the bag out of here. I'm going to switch this to a carabiner because I don't really like this hook. But hook the bag onto here. And then basically this is a ratcheting setup. Pull it like that, and you can see I can let it hang over the kettle to drain out all the liquid, and then when I'm done I can just wheel it over here over top of the utility sink and let it hang there and focus on what I need to focus on, and then get to it when I need to. So that's it pretty much. All in all, it works out pretty nice. But yeah, controller, electric kettle, got the thing to hang my grain bag, got my crazy looking counterflow in a bucket, and then on my workspace to bottle, and my kegerator. I only got one thing in there right now, pretty lame, but yeah. So that's it. It's pretty crazy. Started this, couple years ago, and ended up with this now set up, and I'm pretty proud of it, pretty happy with how it turned out. But let me know what you guys think, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Well, there it is.